Jens Jaeger on Elves.
So the interesting things about this deck, the biggest
Ports.
one, 3 ports.
Yep. Everything
Um,
else, pretty normal.
he was using it to good effect somewhat against Rich to keep him off of green mana at times. It did slow Rich down, but it also slowed Jens down a lot as well. He also got hit with Winter Orb hurting him
Yeah.
more than hurting Rich. So we'll see if he sideboards differently in this kind of rematch.
Yeah.
Another maybe interesting thing is the one Kamal.
Yep.
Is there no Genesis in the 75?
No, that's
okay.
those on the cutting edge would call that slightly stale. It's good, but it's not great. You got to be great to win Premodern.
All right.
In the sideboard, the only thing that he's made his choices about what he wants to hunt after, but the only thing that I see is particularly unique is a bunch of Winter Orbs. Winter Orb is a heater with Quirion Ranger, and it is a heater with a bunch of Mana Dorks with Rashad and Port. And then you can just completely lock people out. It's pretty mean. This is a mean person deck.
And he's playing 3 Natuka Vigilantes. So he's got a lot of answers to artifacts and enchantments, but not a good time with dealing with Sterling Grove. Okay, and we got Packer's list. I think I don't know what the differences are between it and Rich's. I know that there's a 2-card difference in the main.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Oh, okay. So he doesn't have a Sylvan. Rich had 4 Giles and 1 Sylvan, which we thought was a little different.
Yep.
I don't know what he went up on. So he has 1 more Plow.
Okay.
Rich had only had 2 Plow in the main, 2 on the board.
And 1 replenish versus 2 maybe?
No, they both had 1 replenish. It might have been 2 seals versus 1. I'm not sure.
2 versus
2
3.
versus 3, I mean.
Yeah. Okay. In the sideboard, largely similar. I don't know if the Guy's Blessings are necessarily stock.
Yeah, they're both running the Sacred Grounds.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely saw that. Yeah, was Rich? I mean, Rich would run Guy's Blessing.
Yeah.
So I'd be surprised. Yeah. Okay.
But it's not going to be pertinent in this matchup. So in this, so speaking specifically to this matchup, I see swords and seal of cleansing. Anything else?
Yeah. He maybe could do the web for the ports, but that seems a little cute.
Yeah, that's not a good use of his time.
Yeah. And maybe Orm's chance being played in Modern as a lot now.
Yeah, like a mini time walk.
Yeah. Can't attack, can't do anything. It could be maybe it's good, but the Enchantress deck is so much a critical mass thing that it's hard to. I think you do want to do the more surgical sideboard strategy. Only take in and remove a few cards.
Moving into the game.
So it looks like is Mike mulliganing a 5 here? Yeah, it looks like he's mulliganing a 5. He's got a Sarah's Sanctum, a Forest, and I don't know what else.
Knowing Mike personally, he generally declines to be on stream. So I'm certain he's going to do great this time, though. He literally always does. And got a turn 1 exploration. Hot start,
but he's got 3 cards left, and he really wants them to be an Enchantress, an Enchantment, and the ability to cast them if he needs a land or anything like that.
Check out the basic land choices. Jens, what are these? The Urza's Saga promo foils with signature. Great choice on the art. Looking good. Packer's got APAC. These are 2.
I actually got my my foil chills from Packer. I bought them from him.
Excellent.
So he's got a pretty good collection. He's always wheeling and dealing.
APAC planes. We got some aesthetic gentlemen here.
So what is this? Probably an Enchantress.
I hope for Mike's sake it's an Enchantress because
Sterling Grove would be a little slow here.
Yeah, it would be less influential. I think this is like the turn 2 Enchantress games tend to be a bit more violent.
Oh, it's a Sterling Grove. He does have a Sarah's Sanctum in hand. Okay, he plays that. Doesn't seem so he just only played 1 land that turn.
Only played 1 land, so that means that I anticipate that's a lack of green. And that's really the choke point for this deck when you're going for those big turns.
And that's where the ports can be really good.
Yeah.
Because port looks pretty great right now. Like, yeah, Mike would be able to get a bunch of white mana, but
And that
I don't know if he has much to do with it. That's a survival.
that is a
It's a, yeah.
lovely altered survival. It has is that a wallaby, or perhaps a koala?
I don't know. It looks cute, though.
It does look cute.
Okay, anger. That's a key card.
Yeah, natural mountain, natural anger, and he's got a priest. He can just start. Can't quite start chaining.
So you're used to survival packages, but you don't run anger. You're just doing more of
Yeah, I'm Terravore with survival stuffed into it. Premodern Elves is a very finely tuned machine. Getting that mountain with the anger in the graveyard is going to give all of his creatures haste. Grabbing a squeeze, so he's going for the early advantage. Wirewood Symbiote. Is he attacking with it? Yeah, yeah,
I guess so.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Gotta turn him sideways.
Yeah. The iPads were pressed.
The iPads were pressed.
Okay, so he's got a squee and an unknown, and only one elf, so the priest isn't going too crazy yet, but it definitely has the potential to kind of run away with this game. Okay, he's probably going to sack for an Enchantress effect here.
Can we get the rules text for Sacred Grove? Sterling Grove, please. Yeah. Mike activating the search function on the Sterling Grove. So for a generic mana, you can sacrifice the Sterling Grove. Go shields down and effectively do a Enlightened
Like
Tutor.
Enlightened Tutor, yeah.
Yep.
But just for enchantments.
Just for enchantments. So he's tutoring up an enchantment. Maybe he's got something main deck that can either...
Or maybe he's just trying to... Maybe he has Opal Wave and wants the other piece, because that's another way. Like, he doesn't even need to do this Enchantress stuff if he has that combination. But nope, looks like he's going for the Enchantress Presence.
Yeah, going for
So this is going to be a bit of a slow...
going for value here.
Yeah.
Trying to get his value engine running. He's not being proactive. He's not being defensive. He's going to just try and compensate for that mulligan to 5.
So he spent... Okay, he's shortcutted there. He drew the Enchantress Presence after putting it at the top of the deck and just cast it. Though, Jens, does he have enough mana to just get a Vigilante, flip it this turn?
Let's see here. So he can 1, 2, 3.
You discard that, get a Priest of Titania, and I feel like that's got to be... Yeah, with the...
not Priest, Quirion Ranger.
Or
Because then he
Priest of
can...
Titania.
it's an elf, play the elf. Tap the Priest of Titania for 2. Return a forest to hand, untap the Priest of Titania. Then you tap the Priest of Titania. Now you have 4, and you've got an extra mana somewhere along the line.
He just needs to have the creatures in hand to find the Vigilante.
He had Squee in hand already.
Right.
Yeah, I think in this
Okay,
case...
here's another Priest. He's got like a billion mana here.
Yeah. Okay, I was thinking if all he wanted to do was find a Vigilante, he could have, and he could have flipped it. Getting the morph trigger, destroying the Enchantress's Presence.
So he's doing a play that we talked about earlier, where he's just double casting the Multani's Acolyte, just getting his card advantage that way. Okay, Tangle Wire is good enough too. This is a time walk.
Yes.
Yeah. Packer does have the exploration in play, but he's been missing land drops. So we did see Rich do some plays like this around Tangle Wire, where he just goes land, wild growth on a land. Use the mana from that the wild growth land to do something else.
Yep.
But no, Packer just passes it back.
Yeah. Getting pinched by that Tangle Wire. He's tangled in the wire. Squee back to hand.
Not missing squeeze triggers. It was
yeah, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
What a beautiful deck. Good for him.
Yeah, he's got quite a collection.
I like to see players that care about their decks doing well. And Jens is a pillar of this community. Plays a lot of old school.
Yep.
He was a finalist in the old school pre-modern event last year.
The old school LobSterCon event. Main event. Main event last year.
LobSterCon old school main event.
I think he was on Terrageddon in the main event in pre-modern last year.
He may have been.
I don't think it went well.
I honestly don't recall. All right, so here's a...
Okay, so he's just getting the beats in.
Yep, Angry Hermit. Can we get Angry Hermit's rules text?
Deranged Hermit.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's an attack for 3 plus 8 plus 1, so 12? Looks like Packer. Yep, 12. Packer's down to 3. Jens is just generating an insane amount of card advantage here.
Yep.
I
Make
have no idea if Packer has any outs here, especially with this Tangle Wire tapping down his lands again.
Yeah, just
He
make
could maybe
land
do,
grass. That's it. But that doesn't even help because he got so much damn mana.
yeah. Or, well, I was thinking if he had double Sarah's Sanctum to get 4 mana, he could have played a wave, but I don't think that would be good enough anyway.
No. Um, so I think that the deciding card in this matchup was Tanglewire.
Oh, yeah, Tangle
Yeah.
Wire is disgusting there.
Yeah.
It was just a double time walk.
Yeah. So in this situation, Mike mulligan down to 5 cards. So in order to escape from the Tangle, can we get the Tanglewire's rules text, please? Thank you. Yeah. So in order to escape from Tanglewire's the web that it weaves around you, you need to have material to tap down to it. Notably, one cannot tap down one's enchantments. So Mike Packer already mulliganing down to 5, and then he's investing those. He's converting those cards in hand to cards on board. Card type is enchantment. That doesn't do me any good in getting out of this tangled web of wires that Slay J has wrapped me up in. So that was effectively a double time walk, and even if it wasn't, it would have, or rather, even if he hadn't been able to assemble so much damage so quickly, it's still a couple turns of slowing down Mike Packer's
Yeah,
growth.
I wonder if, I mean, it did end the game there, but I don't know if it was necessary. Like, maybe just having a Vigilante there is enough because
Yeah.
Packer mulligan to 5 and 2-for-1 to himself just to play the Enchantress's presence.
Yes.
So he was in a bad position. Like, I think he was all in on the Enchantress's presence to get him enough card advantage to break out of that.
Can we check out the player's deck list and just get a real quick and check out some
sideboard
possible
plans?
sideboard strategies?
So I did see.
Well, this guy hates artifacts and enchantments.
Yeah.
I'm
I think
definitely.
he brings in the things that get rid of artifacts and enchantments.
Yeah. Let me think.
What do you cut? Massacre doesn't seem good.
Massacre is hard out.
I wonder if you need both hermits. I don't know about that.
I could go either way on that. He's playing
Maybe
8.
a dork.
Yeah, he's playing 8 mana dorks. Stock is somewhere deciding between 7 and 8.
Mhm.
So I can see that when you have these high potency sideboard cards, such as Naturalize, such as Vigilante, I can see how a person would be totally happy to cut a dork for such heaters as
So-
those.
I wonder what, because he must have done a lot of sideboarding last time because he definitely had at least Naturalize. I don't know if he had all of the Nantuko Vigilantes or not, and he had some Winter Orbs. And
Yeah.
well, last time, I mean, the match against Rich.
Yeah. Winter Orb does seem rather good. And I think that if you're on a Winter Orb plan, you tend to value keeping your mana dorks just a bit more. It means that you can keep those like 1 land hands with a dork and still have a functioning situation even under a Winter Orb.
Oh, good point. So Massacre does stay in with Kamal. That is a nice combo there, but
Yes.
I don't know.
I
What is that his strategy to play like this LD
yeah.
plan, you think?
I think that while that combo is definitely good and definitely potent, Elves is capable of such like you need an end game. You need a Hermit, you need a Kamal, what have you. But whether or not he's going for that specific combo, which is quite ferocious.
Well,
Trust
I mean,
me.
it does seem like the match against Rich, he was trying to go turn into like a prison-y deck.
Yeah. Now
Here
moving
we
to Mike
talked about
Packer.
this.
Yep.
Steel,
yeah.
swords.
Steel and swords snap in. Perhaps replenish. He could be anticipating. I mean, he knows
Just the removal.
Vigilante's coming. He knows that every Elves player on the planet plays 4 Naturalize on the side. So
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty reasonable to get a replenish in there, even if maybe it's not a game-winning banger, but you can still.
But we did see Rich did just like a value replenish that worked out pretty well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Against Jens in the Swiss.
Yep. Let's move to game 2. Mike.
Yeah, Naturalizes don't tend to be great. We also saw that Naturalized looked pretty bad when they have Sterling Groves, and
now
you just have to hit a Sterling Grove,
Yeah,
and then they
it's
sack it.
Yeah, it's not a sweeper, so I guess his strategy would be. Yeah, it's not tranquil.
But he did have at least one or two
Sure.
in. We
Yeah.
did see it.
Yep. Like
So yeah, I would be curious how he ends up sideboarding, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of cards that he could be interested in, and
And
it's hard to take out a lot of elves from the elves deck.
Chat, you may notice that Jens just did a quick fist bump on Mike Packer's deck. I know Mike Packer personally; he's an honest man, but just Jens, just trusting his opponent. This is a courteous tournament. This is a charity tournament. Just nobody gets it this far to be good enough to make it into a top 8 unless people like you and trust you and enjoy your company. So cheers. I hope that was a nice, refreshing drink, Jens. Cheers to you for being so courteous and trusting of your opponents. And we'll see how game 2 works out.
All right, so it looks like Jens kept on 7. Is that right?
I think so.
And Mike is mulliganing down to 6 now.
He paused to have a sip, so I think he had.
He got a horse in his hand.
I find myself holding my breath, waiting, like, buddy, I don't want you to double mold at 5.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it looks like he's keeping it and just figuring out which cards to keep. Does the Enchantress deck mulligan a lot? I imagine it just has to mulligan to an Enchantress. And it looks like his mulligan of 5 was... He had to keep it because he couldn't go down to 4, but his Enchantress was a Sterling Grove.
Yeah. All right. Mike Packer.
Was that down to 5 or down to 6?
Yeah, that was down to 5.
Is that down to 4 or 5? I think he's down to 4.
Keeping Miri's Guile can really repair some of this damage that's been done. Mold of 5 and mold of 4. I mean,
we did see a Jens use Naturalize to take out Miri's Guile against Rich.
That's true.
Which did keep Rich off lands for several turns.
Sure. All right. Starting off with a Quirion Ranger. Can we get Quirion Ranger text? This is a very interesting card. Within the context of a Winter Orb, it's pretty nutty. So let's see what we got here. Swords. Okay. Mike respecting. Yep. Mike Packer respecting how influential Quirion Ranger can be.
Yep. It gives you mana in the against the Winter Orb. It gives you a land drop every turn. It is. It makes, not that this matchup is relevant here, but it is the maybe the best card in the format against Stasis.
Yes, this is the single card crusher against Stasis.
Though another card that I played in the side event last year and had an easy win against Stasis was Lion's Eye Diamond.
Lion's Eye Diamond.
I joked. I was like, I could just discard my hand, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Probably one of my favorite cards against Stasis is weirdly Zurin Orb, because it gives you equity out of the lands that are just stuck there tapped down. Yep. It's a free card to get out of your hand.
Okay, so no Enchantress yet from Packer. Maybe he's waiting to be able to get value out of it. Or maybe he just doesn't have one.
And here's the Tangle.
Yeah, that's not looking very good.
Mike did disrupt the sort of the synergy that can be found between Quirion Ranger and Tanglewire. So this could have been a really oppressive one, but I think both players are just going to have to take a little breather. Have a nice chit-chat through their turn cycles.
So, yeah, I mean, it looks like they're both kind of... Well, okay, Mike is forced to play for a longer game because he mulled to 4, and Jens is... His sideboard strategy seems to be sticking towards a bit of a longer prison-y game. But we have seen this deck can turn the corner very quickly. Okay, that's a brushland.
Yep.
So Mike has his mana in this game, at least.
I think that is a Poscud Black Border.
I think
so.
6th edition?
Yeah, I think it's Poscud
6th edition.
Yep. Another man choosing his aesthetics wildly. Oh, the same Wombat. Or is
and is he empty-handed now?
Slay?
Yeah.
I believe. I don't know. Oh,
no. He's got 3 cards left.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Note for streaming rig next time. Have better contrast. Yeah. Enchantress. Okay. There she is.
Enchantress, but no enchantment to follow up. But it's very hard for any deck in Premodern to interact with the Enchantress. So it's pretty safe on the battlefield right there.
It is. This is because Enchantress has Shroud.
Yes.
Yeah, the old version of Hexproof.
So, and Packer's got one card in hand. I feel like he's got a. Okay, so he's discarding his Nantuko Vigilante, which doesn't sound good for Packer, because that's like kind of a card that you're fine playing right now and just getting your value, getting rid of that Mirror's
Yeah.
Guile.
It could indicate that he has a couple more in his deck, though.
Yeah. So he might be just getting some card advantage here with the Multani's Acolyte. Okay, so he'll play an Acolyte, draw a card. He has not yet activated the Symbiote.
Yep.
So
No, I think he did.
No,
Oh,
he just activated it.
Yeah.
He might have wanted to float mana with the Gaia's Cradle first before activating. Because now he could have had a little bit extra mana there.
Can we get Wirewood Symbiote?
Oh, okay.
There's
another
Tangle Wire. That's
Tangle
pretty
Wire.
good. That's pretty good.
So Mike is not playing Magic for at least another turn.
Yeah.
He can go look at his top 3 cards, draw one of them, and then probably pass the turn.
Yeah, so he's getting
land.
tangled for 6, and next turn he's going to get tangled for 4, and he's going to have just about 1 mana. 1 mana to work with, maybe 2.
And meanwhile, Jens is going to get tangled for 4. It's going to hit 2 Tangle Wires and probably just hit 2 lands because he's got this Cradle that can generate some mana. Okay. So he gets a little bit of value here, plays a land and a Wild Growth, and draws a card off the Enchantress. But putting another permanent on the board for Tangle Wire and getting a card deeper. Yeah, can get him to some outs. So Jens got that Multani's Acolyte. I think he saw another Gaia's Cradle there, which can also lead to a lot of really big turns having a
double Cradle.
Yeah. So have you played against Elves much? I'm guessing so because
yes,
of,
I have. I've played against Elves a whole bunch. I feel like I understand this pretty well. All right, here's a Finthorn Elves. All right.
2 mana. Replay the Multani's Acolyte.
Yep. Can we get Wirewood Symbiote, please? All right. So there's a very interesting interaction that Jens has been capitalizing on. So Wirewood Symbiote, he's able to lift up Elves back to hand, and in this case, we're going to see the text now for Multani's Acolyte. So he's bouncing that Acolyte back to hand every turn. He's drawing 2 cards a turn and just declining to pay the Echo cost. It's a new game object. It doesn't matter. So he's skipping out on the Echo cost. He's not paying his taxes, drawing extra cards. Jens is embezzling his way.
Is he doing? Oh, he's activating Survival.
Yes.
Has he not gotten Squee yet?
No, he has not yet gotten Squee.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an unusual line. You know what this is indicating to me is that he is choosing to dig through his deck. I bet he's looking to chain Tangle Wires or hit a Winter Orb. That's what this looks like to me.
Okay. So he's just trying to draw cards. He's not looking for creatures because
exactly.
The cards that he wants are the artifacts.
Exactly. That is my presumption of this game state. I could be wrong. But in the meantime, he's stacking Naturalizes in his hand, stacking Vigilantes in his hand.
Well, so this is Packer's first real turn he gets this game.
Yes. All right.
He gets to tap down. Yeah, he's tapping some of his cards already. He gets to tap down the Enchantress and 3 lands. Okay, there he goes. Making sure he tapped the Enchantress. Yep. So he's got 4 mana available.
Here's your chance,
which is
buddy.
Exactly enough to play Parallax Wave.
Pretty good here. 1, 2.
No, slow the board. But he could wave out 3 permanents and 3 creatures and then try to go Opal next turn.
He could.
Maybe. It doesn't look like it's that clear cut based off of how long he's thinking about what to play.
I saw a Replenish, which in this case is unfortunately a bit soft in this situation. Yeah. Nothing to cash in.
Okay, so land exploration, that's pretty much a cycle. And gets more permanents on the battlefield. Okay, he might be a little flooded here. He hasn't had a... Yeah, did he... I guess he fetched that pretty early, the Windswept Heath pretty early, so he hasn't had a good shuffle with this Mirror's Guile.
True.
So I think he just needs to dig through his block at the top of the deck.
Yeah, I know that there's a Replenish somewhere in that Mirror's Guile pile. He can't shuffle it away. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he is dead next turn.
I think there's a good bet on that. He's got so that priest makes uh
3.
3 mana. Well, I
Yep.
guess the acolyte has okay.
Yeah.
So the
We,
last card was the Swords to Plowshares. He
okay.
swords the Wirewood Symbiote.
Okay.
Jens responds by bouncing the acolyte, so he'll get to replay and draw another card. And cool. It looks like Jens is activating Survival at end of turn. Getting rid of the acolyte, got enough card advantage, I guess, out of that. Is he going squee now? Okay, now
Yeah.
he's just getting his squee value. So discarding that acolyte means if he's trying to do this, drawing cards thing, it probably means he has another acolyte, or he's just digging for another acolyte here.
I think in this case, yeah, getting squee means that you're looking to at least draw 1 additional card.
Well, I'm wondering, does it imply that he doesn't have other creatures in his hand?
Perhaps not strictly. I think he is actually kind of changing lines here. I think that seeing that Mike Packer has drawn and played so many lands now, and his Tangle Wires are detangling themselves, I think he is setting himself up a bit more to go to see if he can perhaps kill Mike this turn.
Yeah,
Well,
because
he actually no, he doesn't have a mountain.
Right.
Yeah. So
well, he can get a Granger. He can.
yeah, he doesn't have a mountain yet,
Yeah.
but he's gonna have to spend his turn, pitch squee, go get Granger, play Granger.
Also,
mountain.
it's hard to tell, but like that is a morph that's there. So the guy's
Yeah.
Cradle does tap for 3.
Oh yeah, well said.
So he does have 3 from the Cradle. So he's got 8 mana on board right now.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 mana on board.
And depending how he sequences it, he could get a little more. He could play this morph here to make it 9 mana total. But okay, so he goes with a Deranged Hermit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And now that Cradle can tap for like a billion.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be 5, 6, 7, 8.
5. Yep.
Okay.
Flip.
So he kills the
shoot
Mirror's
that.
Guile. So Packer must know that this was coming up and should have appropriately stacked the top 3 to at least put the most useful thing up next.
Morph again, gonna make his life a little harder.
But he probably doesn't flip it here. He's just holding on to it.
Nope.
Okay, 2 mana left.
Discard
Maybe a Symbiote, so that he could, if he wanted to, redo the Vigilante or bounce the Deranged Hermit. Or maybe he goes Anger into Symbiote.
I think I like Symbiote. I don't know if he has another creature in hand. A naturally.
Oh, because he needs another creature for the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he could do something where he plays Symbiote, or plays Anger, plays discards Anger, gets Symbiote, bounces.
Oh, so he's,
makes a billion mana off of the.
So he is
priest.
bounced.
Deranged Hermit
back to hand to untap the priest. Gonna tap the priest for.
Actually, only 2 mana. There's only 2 elves. It looks like.
Ah.
Okay, so he couldn't get that much, but he might have been able to. Yeah, he's at 1 mana short here to discard another creature and get a Granger as part of an anger line.
So how he started and how he finished, he's only swinging for 3 this turn.
Yeah, only swinging for 3, but he's got a lot of creatures on board. He can next turn he should be able to at least get Anger in Yard, get Granger, and probably double cast this Deranged Hermit.
Yeah, I'm anticipating that as well. Mike got Miri's Guile locked. Our legacy watchers, our legacy players will know the feeling of a crap brainstorm with no shuffle and how depressing that is.
Oh, Jens noticing the squee because he had to discard. I think he was going to miss that trigger.
Yeah.
So he tapped the Tangle that was going to die to the one that got down to 1. Okay, making a million mana, playing a Deranged Hermit. Or not playing the Deranged Hermit, just tapping it, it seems. He's playing a Deranged Hermit.
Yep.
That probably has another Cradle in hand. Because he could have tapped some of the creatures. It might have been a little better to get the Deranged Hermit, because you really want to tap that Cradle after you play the Deranged Hermit.
Yeah. I think this is a case of almost like analysis paralysis.
This is a case where everything is good, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And he could only mess up, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Replaying the Hermit.
Okay. But he does need to get an Anger and a Mountain. He's got 4 mana floating. He should be able to discard Squee, get Anger, discard Anger, get Granger, attack for
Yeah. Yep. In this case, yep.
some disgusting amount of mana. He's got 12 squirrels. They're all 2/2s. That's way more than lethal. Packer's got 1 card in hand. I don't think Cellular Wreckage is in this format.
I think
maybe
he
he has a
board out?
route.
Did he board out Anger?
Maybe, yeah.
I think in this case, because if you
That's yeah.
he boarded out Anger,
Okay.
and so no Granger either.
You think he boarded out the Mountain then too?
Probably. I that's why he's been taking different lines. Okay,
Right,
so he
yeah.
sideboarded differently than we were anticipating, because we're like, go get Anger and Granger. So he wasn't anticipating to enter a game state where hasty elves kill you.
Yeah.
Was a game state. I think he was planning on a prison game state, lock you down and peck at you.
Yeah.
So he wasn't expecting the combo kill.
Which is, I mean, it gives. I don't know what Packer's got in hand. It doesn't look like Packer has much of an out here, but he does have enough mana to slam Opal and Wave.
Yeah.
If he gets lucky.
What do we got here?
I don't think this is
3,
lethal.
4.
So
4
those
plus 8 is 12, 13, 14, 15.
Oh, that's Exacxies then.
Yeah.
All right.
And we underestimated Jens.
So I think Jens also took out a Hermit because he would have wanted to go double Hermit there
Yeah.
to make those guys bigger. But
Yep.
All right. Well done, Jens.
And that's the end of Mike Packer. You had a good run, buddy. Top 8 at LobSterCon, 280 players. That's something to be proud of. Chat, give it up for Mike Packer, and let's see how far Jens makes it into his next round.
Yeah. It was a good run for Mike. And, yeah, mulliganing to 5 and then mulliganing to 4. It's hard to win any match where
Mike
where you're doing
Packer,
that.
hailing from New Hampshire, often plays in Massachusetts. Next time you see him, congratulate him on his strong finish.